Good morning. I think we should do our daily lectionary reading, don't you? Today is the 1st of March, 2022, March 1. We've made it through 2 months. So what do we have today? We've got Psalm 35, verses 11 to 28, and we're going to read those out of the message. You've got Ezekiel 1:1 and 2:1. It's really odd. We have this pericope, this selection is 2 verses, but they're not consecutive. They're separate. Kind of interesting. First time I've seen that. Acts 10:23b to 33. All right, so let's just dive in with Psalm 35, 11 to 18 from the Message translation. Hostile accusers appear out of nowhere. They stand up and badger me. They pay me back misery for mercy, leaving my soul empty. When they were sick, I dressed in black. Instead of eating, I prayed. My prayers were like lead in my gut, like I'd lost my best friend, my brother. I paced, distraught as a motherless child, hunched and heavy-hearted. But when I was down, they threw a party. All the nameless misfits of the town came, chanting insults about me. Like barbarians desecrating a shrine, they destroyed my reputation. God, how long are you going to stand there doing nothing? Save me from their brutalities. Everything I've got is being thrown to the lions. I will give you full credit when everyone gathers for worship. When the people turn out in force, I will say the hallelujahs. Don't let these liars, my enemies, have a party at my expense. Those who hate me for no reason, winking and rolling their eyes. No good is going to come from this crowd. They spend all their time cooking up gossip against those who mind their own business. They open their mouths in ugly grins, mocking, ha ha, ha ha, thought you'd get away with it. We've caught you hands down. Don't you see what they're doing, God? You're not going to let them get by with it, are you? Not going to walk off without doing something, are you? Please get up, wake up, tend to my case. My God, my Lord, my life is on the line. Do what you think is right, God, my God. But don't make me pay for their good time. Don't let them say to themselves, ha ha, we got what we wanted. Don't let them say, we've chewed him up and spit him out. Let those who are being hilarious at my expense be made to look ridiculous. Make them wear donkey's ears, pin them with the donkey's tail, who made themselves so high and mighty. But those who want the best for me, let them have the last word, a glad shout, and say over and over and over, God is great. Everything works together for good for his servants. I will tell the world how good and great you are. I'll shout hallelujah all day, every day. All right, let's go to Ezekiel. We're going to do chapter 1, verse 1, chapter 2, verse 1. In the 30th year and the 4th month, on the 5th day of the month, as I was among the exiles by the river Kibar, heavens were open, and I saw visions of God. And he said to me, O mortal, stand up on your feet, and I will speak to you. And that's all we got. What is on tomorrow? No, not Ezekiel tomorrow. And I don't see us going back to Ezekiel. So yeah, a little oddity. I don't recall. I'm sure it's the lectionary. I know I've seen this before, but it never struck me before that they did that. All right, Acts 10:23 to 33. Now this is a this one continues. This is a story of Cornelius was told by God to send for Peter, also called Simon, and he sent his men for Peter. And then before they got there, as they were coming there, Peter had the vision of the sheet coming down, filled with all sorts of animals, clean and unclean. And he was told to kill and eat, and he said, "No, no, no, no! I've never done what's unclean." And basically told God makes all things clean. And then these Gentiles knock on the door. That's where today's passage picks up. So Peter invited them in and gave them lodging. The next day he got up and went with them, and some of the believers from Joppa accompanied him. The following day they came to Caesarea. Cornelius was expecting them, and he called together his relatives and close friends. On Peter's arrival, Cornelius met him and, falling at his feet, but Peter made him get up, saying, "Stand up, I am only a mortal." And as he talked with them, he went in and found that many had assembled. And he said to them, "You yourselves know that it is unlawful for a Jew to associate with or to visit a Gentile. But God has shown me that I should not call anyone profane or unclean. So when I was sent for, I came without objection. Now may I ask why you sent for me?" Cornelius replied, 4 days ago at this very hour, at 3 o'clock, I was praying in my house when suddenly a man in dazzling clothes stood before me. And he said, "Cornelius, your prayer has been heard and your alms have been remembered before God. Send therefore to Joppa and ask for Simon, who is called Peter. He is staying at the home of Simon the tanner by the sea. Therefore I sent for you immediately, and you have been kind enough to come. So now all of us are here in the presence of God to listen to all that the Lord has commanded you to say." And I find it interesting. I've always found it interesting that the sheet um, comes down and has all sorts of animals, four-footed creatures, reptiles, birds. The voice said, "Get up, Peter, kill him, eat." And Peter said, "By no means, Lord, for I've never eaten anything that is profane or unclean." And the voice says, "What God has made clean, you must not call profane." And it happens 3 times. And some people would have probably stopped at taking that the very narrow, literal point of the vision of animals and food being unclean and clean, and that there's really what God says unclean, what God says is clean is good, regardless of the traditions of men. Sorry, struggle for the word. But Peter recognizes this for what it is, and as a broader definition, because again, in today's passage, it says it is unlawful. Let me find it. Is unlawful for a Jew to associate with or visit a Gentile. God has shown me that I should not call anyone profane or unclean. He's extended it from food to people. Remember, Christianity was a Jewish sect. That was how it started out. They were all Jews. And this is with Peter and with Paul, changing it from just the Jews, extending it to the Gentiles, to the unclean, to the profane, and to the Jews. Really rather significant passage here for the fate of Christianity. Kind of cool, isn't it? See you guys later.